It's for people who are low in confidence and want some place to start to build up their fitness foundations. And I say fitness foundations, just having that kind of knowledge that the first step is always going to be the hardest one. But if you can get yourself just moving, even if it's the smallest little bit, 5-10 minutes a day, build up some foundations, build up some momentum, and then everything else comes into place. So, don't worry too much about your diet straight away. That will come. If you're worried about weight loss, start moving gently, getting your body moving, because that's going to support you for the rest of your life, and then everything else will fall into place because you'll get that confidence to take those right decisions and right steps in the right direction.
This episode is brought to you by True Tone Media. A lot of business owners know they should be doing video to interact with their potential clients, but video can sometimes feel awkward, particularly if it's scripted or you're kind of sitting there like a hostage in front of the camera trying to share your story. And that's where True Tone Media is different. It's relaxed conversations. It's interview led, like you're just having a chat with me. There's no acting or pretending to be someone different in front of camera. And that's why it works. That's why people relate to it. If you're interested, have a look in the show notes for True Tone Media and book in a conversation. We can have a chat. Okay, back to the podcast. Welcome to the Bishop Stortford Community Podcast, the show where we shine a light on the incredible businesses, community leaders and local legends shaping our town. I'm your host, James O'Donnell, and today we are joined by Duncan Vincent. Duncan, great to have you on the show.
It's really good to be here.
So for those of us who don't know you, therefore, Duncan, who are you and what do you do here in Bishop Stortford?
So I'm Duncan Vincent, and I'm a local personal trainer and fitness coach, and I work with people in their homes, be it either I go to visit them and make them feel nice and comfortable and super fit, or I have people working online as well. So I've got an online coaching studio, 8 classes a week, half-hour classes, and it's all about a journey from moving freely, all the way up to building strength. And it's just a great way to get fit if you don't want to go to a gym and stuff like that. I can either come to you or you can work online.
Fantastic. There are loads and loads of gyms in Bishop Stortford, but I think every single one seems to kind of cater for a different part of the population, which is what I love, really.
That's brilliant.
Who do you think you support the most? Who gets the most out of working with you, Duncan?
So I've got kind of a split client base. I have people who are already doing sports. So I've got a few people who are doing like runs and marathon runners. They go to the running club, and I can work using my sports science to build up strength, support them in that journey. But one of the main ones, my favorite person to work with is someone who's low in confidence, who doesn't know where to start, who wants to have the ability to build foundations. So that my philosophy is to find balance, build strength, move freely. And the balance isn't just about like balancing on one leg. It's like life balance, working with, what they have in their life. Is it kids? Is it work? Is it lifestyle? Building them up from where they think that I don't know what to do, all the way through to I've got all the tools in my kit to be able to get yourself super fit and healthy and be fit for life. And that's the kind of person I want to be able to help and directing them in the way that they want to go, wish they could go, and just need that support.
Fantastic. I follow you on social media, Duncan. Your delivery of what you're trying to teach your clients is so clear and personable. I'm jealous. I used to be a PT myself, and I'm not as calm and relaxing as you are at all.
Thank you.
How did you get started as being a PT? What was what was the spark?
So the spark was actually my very first ever proper job in the fitness world was in the local Living Well Fitness in the Hilton Hotel, and it was, you were a fitness instructor, so you didn't have much to do. Like, you were cleaning equipment and bits and pieces, but it was going to chat to people, the regulars that used to come in. The first sort of inspiration for me was chatting to them, finding out about their lives, how it could help. So it wasn't just about giving exercises; it was like giving support. And that kind of inspired me to go on a little bit further into becoming a personal trainer. And then I learned all about that. And then I went to university. I've done sports science, professional football coaching, and worked with elite football players in like professional football clubs. And I've worked with royalty ambassadors, all sorts of wonderful people, CEOs. I could do some name drops if I wanted to, but I won't. The very first person I met in that local gym to the highest person, high performing person, everyone is the same. They need support, they need direction, they need a quiet, calm way of learning about their body and how they can adapt, because everyone's different in the sense that how they move, how they got their confidence. They could be intrinsically motivated, extrinsically motivated. And I think it's my love of helping people just find their direction is what kind of inspires me to keep on doing my PT for 25 years now.
And do you find, in Stortford that there are lots of people that, as I said, there are lots of gyms out there for people that could quite easily go to, but there's something about a gym that turns people off that actually means that they want to train at home?
Yeah, so I mean, lots of people when it comes to gyms, they might even want to get fit before they go to the gym because it's that whole insecurity of people looking, am I going to do something right? Do I look good in my, even looking good, the way they feel self-conscious. I mean, I've got a lovely lady who didn't even want to go to supermarkets when I first met her. She was self-conscious of the way she looked, and going to the gym was just something which was like terrifying for her. So when it comes to, you know, that confidence, like I said, it's building someone up to be able to have that first step into the gym. If you don't want to go to the gym, you don't have to. You can work with body weights. You've got plenty of stuff in your house that you can work with. The gym is not for everybody. There are people. I went to Grange Paddocks, and I love Grange Paddocks for what it does as that community. But there are a lot of young kids in there. There are a lot of people pushing lots of weights around. And even as a personal trainer, walking in there going, yeah, I don't feel quite comfortable in this. So I totally get that. And like I said, you don't need to be in the gym. If you can get yourself a routine that feels comfortable for you, whether you're at home, if it's outside, going for walks, things that you find fun to do. It could be, finding a local dance group. It could be finding something which is community-based or gardening. There's lots of different avenues to get yourself fit. The gym doesn't have to be the only way.
And let's say someone's listening in now and they're interested in kind of doing some at home personal training with
Yes.
you, Duncan. What would that first kind of conversation look like? What kind of things do you want to find out from someone before they start training with you?
So when I first meet someone, it's a really nice informal session where I will come along and I'll say it's like a looking how your body moves and what you're capable of. But when you first turn up, you can kind of read that person if they're nervous, if they're high energy. And the first things I ask is, one is how you're feeling. What is it that's stopping you from getting to where you want to go? And it could be, I don't want to do this, I don't want that. My knees hurt, my shoulders hurt. It could be an injury-based thing. It could be that I just really don't exercise. I don't like exercise, but I've been told by the doctors I need to exercise. My first thing is just reading that person in front of you. And I would love to say I've got set questions. I've got set movement patterns that I work through and look at how they move and give confidence and progressions and regressions. So if someone could say that simple squat, for instance, everyone's squat looks different. And if you were going to take someone into that, you have to just, I try to give them as much confidence as possible in what they are actually capable of at that moment in time. Few little cues to help out. But my main thing about walking away from that is to have them feeling positive, full of energy, and actually going, do you know what, I can do this. That's that first consultation. That's the first goal of my consultation, to make them feel comfortable and going, yeah, I can do this. That's
Fantastic.
the
Fantastic.
main thing.
I think it's so important for everybody, to feel comfortable doing that kind of thing. And big thing for me, I remember, was always trying to make things fun. And I know fun is just like an easy word to throw out because a lot of people don't find exercise fun because of the label of exercise. But there's so many different ways that people can move and
Yeah.
enjoy their own movement that doesn't have to be like the traditional exercise route. And hopefully that's something that they can do in their own home under supervision.
100%. And with my classes, like on the online stuff, like I said, it's functional, and even in my in-person stuff, it's functional fitness. It's finding ways that you can move your body to get strong in different areas and feel comfortable doing so. And I like hiding exercises as well. So I will hide the lunge and the squat in a little boxing move here and there. We can, if I work in person with someone, I get my pads out. The online stuff, we do shadow boxing. And it's amazing. They've suddenly got a smile on their face. They don't realise what they're actually doing is actually a thing that's actually progressively good for their bodies. But they're like, oh, I feel good about this.
Excellent. So how does the online training work? How does that, someone wants to sign up and just to, work with you online?
It's 8 classes a week, and they're half-hour classes, and they're different journey levels. So you go from moving freely, which is a class where you're just gently moving your body and setting things with purpose. So you get things in the right, muscularly in the right order. And then you can then build up your fitness foundations with classes which are nice, simple exercises, nothing too intense. It's just nice movement patterns. Then you can start building strength and balance, putting what you've learned from those other ones into practice, and then you can go into like building strength. So it's like a journey you would do in a PT session, but within classes. So it's 2 on a Monday, 3 on a Wednesday, 3 on a Friday, those half-hour classes. Some people just do half hour and that's it. Some people blend in. So they all move through. They've got a theme for the day. So for instance, today we did a fitness foundations one. We're working on our shoulders and mobility. The next one, we put that into practice with some movements where you're like pretending to lift boxes and shift things around. And then we did a build strength one where we did add resistance weights and moved in correct patterns and built that strength. So if you wanted to work with you, it's a subscription based thing. So it's, £39 a month and you get 8 classes a week and they're all recorded. So even if you can't make the live ones, you can come back and enjoy them. They're all structured, and like I said, you can follow through that journey. So you can actually become what I call that, fit for life. But it's that purpose of building that confidence up.
And what's your website, Duncan? If people want to follow along and sign up and see what you're all about, where should they go?
dvpersonaltraining.com.
Well, what we'll do is we'll put a link to your website on the show notes. We'll also put a link to your Instagram and your YouTube channels on there as well.
Yes, please, yeah.
So people can follow along.
With the Instagram one, it's duncanvincent.pt and Duncan Vincent PT on YouTube as well. With the YouTube ones, I've got lots of little classes, little 10-minute classes as well. So if you want to see what my coaching style's like, just go check one of those out. And, I'm not for everybody. I know that, but hopefully I'll be able to help some people.
Exactly. But no, I love following along, Duncan. I think your delivery style is fantastic, and hopefully that resonates with some people out there, and we can get some people moving after this. That's awesome. All right, are you ready for some Stortford Spotlight questions now, Duncan?
Go for it. Rock and roll.
Excellent. These are 3 fast questions that we ask every guest that comes onto the Bishop Stortford Community podcast. First question: if you could put one sentence on a billboard in Jackson Square, what would it say, and who needs to hear it the most?
Find balance, build strength, move freely. Here's my sentence. And it's for people who are low in confidence and want some place to start to build up their fitness foundations. And I say fitness foundations, just having that kind of knowledge that the first step is always going to be the hardest one. But if you can get yourself just moving, even if it's the smallest little bit, 5-10 minutes a day, build up some foundations, build up some momentum, and then everything else comes into place. So, don't worry too much about your diet straight away. That will come. If you're worried about weight loss, start moving gently, getting your body moving, because that's going to support you for the rest of your life, and then everything else will fall into place because you'll get that confidence to take those right decisions and right steps in the right direction.
Excellent. Yeah, those first steps, they're the hardest, but they build on that momentum you're having there as well, Duncan. Yeah, great message. Thanks for that. Question number 2. Where do you go in Stortford that you secretly hope never gets too popular?
Right, so my little one on this one is it's the Southern County Park, which has got the zip lines, and I take my kids there all the time. And you've got the little wooded area, you've got the lake with St Michael's Mead that the kids can run around and play and feed the ducks. It's just a nice space. It's a nice space to get out and about, go for walks and explore. And there's little hidden gems in there that people don't see.
We've actually invited the friends of Southern Country Park to come on the podcast to share about how they maintain it, because it's one of the most common shout outs that we've had of a place where people go in Bishop Stortford to kind of get away a little bit. But, kids have fun there, dogs have fun there, people have fun there. It's a great spot. And I've run into a few podcast guests myself when I've walked around there with my kids.
Have you really?
Yeah, I can't get my son off the zip line. He's absolutely loves it.
Yeah, 100%. My 2 points, I'm constantly just walking back with them, just to get them on, zip them down. It's out of the fun.
Good fun.
As well.
Good fun. I might see you there soon, Duncan.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, last question. Who's doing something special in town that more people need to know about?
So I'm going to go back down to the fitness side of things. And there's a couple of people like Robbie Lindsell with his Paragon Fitness, his club for his weight loss, and the way he brings a community of people together who are on that mission. I think he does wonderful things. I've known him for years, and I definitely think, like I said, not every single part of exercise is different. Everyone will find their own little niche. And if you can find someone like him who's going to give you support in that sense, that's wonderful. And I don't know the person really that well, but the Ab Fab Fit Club as well for women, where they can go and feel comfortable, bring their kids. She's got a wonderful facility. I keep seeing it. I hear people talk about it, and I think her mission and what she's delivering to the community for women to be able to train and feel confident and safe um, and very knowledgeable. So yeah, I think those two places are definitely things that are doing well for Stortford.
Really lovely for you to shout those out as well. You know, essentially competitors of yours, but I'd love to get.
Not really, because it's all
Not
about
really.
it's
I
to get
suppose
everyone moving.
yeah, everybody is doing different things, aren't they? And everyone's going to resonate with different people. We'd love to get Paragon Fitness on the podcast and shine a light on the work that they're doing. I've heard really good stories about them. We had Jane on from AbFabFit, who just before they won best gym in England, and they're doing fantastic things. My wife, we've just had our third child, and my wife is
Congratulations.
lining AbFabFit up as the place to go back because it's a class that they do where you can take your baby along and use
Yeah,
your baby as.
exactly.
I think it's
Exactly
fantastic.
that. And it's like that just takes everything, the perfect message, because that's what, fitness for life is. You've got your kid, bring your kid along, get involved and stay nice and active. And that's the kind of community and that kind of vibe that I admire in other trainers and things.
Yeah, it's fantastic. Excellent. Thanks ever so much for those shout outs, Duncan. I really, really appreciate it. Where's the best place for people to find you online and get involved?
dvpersonaltraining.com. So Duncan Vincent, so DV and then personaltraining.com. You'll find all the information on my website about either doing one-to-one with me, the online classes, and also online coaching if you wanted to do that as well. People do that with. I've been doing that for 10, 15 years with people, and that's if you're going traveling, if you don't want to, have me turn up to your house.
Duncan, we'll put a link to the show notes on that, and I'm sure there's going to be people out there that resonate with your message today, Duncan, and we'll reach out to have a conversation with you. That's a wrap. Thank you so much for joining us today on the Bishop Stortford Community Podcast.
It's an absolute pleasure. Thank you.
If you've enjoyed this episode, the best way to support the show is to hit follow, leave a quick review on YouTube, Apple, or Spotify, wherever you're watching this, and then share it on your socials, or maybe someone in town who you think might resonate really well with Duncan that isn't on social media, but might be interested in what he is sharing. And if you've got a local legend, someone like Duncan who is making Bishop Stortford community a better place to live, let's share their details in the comments below, and I can reach out to them and invite them on the podcast as well. Again, Duncan, thank you so much for joining us on the Bishop Stortford Community Podcast today. Have a great day. Thanks.
And you. Bye-bye.